Going first. Oh, Andy, thank you. What would I do without you, man? Test, test. Yes. Okay, we're good to go. Who's going? Let's go. Spencer, this is Carly. Who's going to go next? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Carly, push that keyboard forward so it's not in your way. There you go, all the way in. Atta girl. Muscles.
All right. This is called As You Travel Through Life, and the artist is unknown. As you travel through life, there are always those times when decisions just have to be made. When the choices are hard and solutions seem scarce, and the rain seems to soak your parade. There are some situations where all you can do is simply let go and move on. Gather your courage and choose a direction that carries you toward a new dawn. So pack up your troubles and take a step forward. The process of change can be tough, but think about all the excitement ahead. There might be adventures you never imagined just waiting around the next bend, and wishes and dreams just about to come true in ways you can't yet comprehend. Perhaps you'll find friendships that spring from new things as you challenge your status quo and learn there are so many options in life. Perhaps you'll go places you never expected and see things that you've never seen, or travel to fabulous, faraway worlds and wonderful spots in between. So keep putting one foot in front of the other and taking your life day by day. There's a brighter tomorrow that's just down the road. Don't look back. You're not going that way.
Very good. I want to say this to all of you. If you, I know this is hard for you to wrap your head around, but if you will use that cork just a few times before you stand up and deliver this message, you will be amazed how much more confidence you will have and how cleaner and richer your delivery will be. Does everybody remember what I mean when I say the cork? You guys haven't forgotten that already, have you? Okay. Yes, sir. Spencer, you got his name. Your name is?
Rory.
Rory.
Yes.
Where are you going?
All right, so this is an Irish blessing my grandmother used to say to us before we head back to the States. But here we are. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. May good luck be with you wherever you go, and blessings outnumber the shamrocks that grow. May your days be many and your troubles be few. May all God's blessings descend upon you. May peace be within you. May your heart be strong. May you find what you're seeking wherever you roam. May you have the hindsight to know where you've been, the foresight to know where you're going, and the insight to know where you're going too far, or when you're going too far. Yeah.
How many of you have heard the first part of that before? Yeah, right? That's a very famous saying, but we rarely hear the entire thing. So it was nice that you got to hear the entire thing. Good inflection. It was good. Thank you. Everybody say your name out loud when you stand up.
My name is Jennifer. This poem is about creating your reality. It's by Jane Roberts. What magicians we are, turning darkness into light, transforming invisible atoms into dazzling theaters of the world, pulling people as well as rabbits out of the secret microscopic closets, turning winter into summers, making a palmful of moments disappear through the world's trapdoors. We learned the methods so long ago that they're unconscious, and we have hypnotized ourselves into believing that we are the audience. I wonder when we served our apprenticeship. Under what master magician did we learn the reality so smoothly that we forgot to tell the secrets to ourselves?
That was very good. Very articulate, and a nice content, and you said it with good emotion. Very good. Thank you.
Recognize when a phase, a job, a life stage, or a relationship is over and let it go. Allow yourself to gracefully exit situations you have outgrown. Moving on doesn't have to be a catastrophic or dramatic event. You can simply choose to move forward with peace and clarity.
You guys have come up with some fabulous content. That was well done. But I'd like a favor. Would you please email that to me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a picture.
That's even better. Okay, great. And who did the poem about, or the saying about perfection the other day? Queen, was that you? Would you please email that to me? I've got lots of people that need to see that. A YouTube video, if you don't mind. However it comes, I'd like to have it. Thank you. Well done. I'm so impressed with the content you guys have come up with. It's just great. Are you going? No, you've gone. Who's next? Okay. I'm sorry, I can't read your name. It's on the, flip that around on the, yes, right. Yeah, you pen. And who wants to go next? You're on.
So I will share a poem with you today. So, Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who fear fire. But if it has perished twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice, if also great, and would suffice. So this short poem to outline the familiar question with the fate of the world, wondering if it is more likely to be destroyed by fire or ice. So the force of fire equal to the emotion of desire, while the force of ice equal to the hate. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Yeah. If you're not familiar with Robert Frost, he's one of the most famous poets that we've homegrown here.
This is an excerpt from actor Charlie Day. He did a commencement speech at his,
Name?
Manuel.
Manuel, yep.
He did a commencement speech at his alma mater. And then you cannot exchange your degree for cash. You cannot have your degree do an audition for you. You cannot eat it. Please do not make love to it. I think you could probably smoke it, but I wouldn't advise it. A college degree does nothing. It collects dust. It does, however, it means something. It tells something to your community. It says, I have expended my mind and destroyed my liver, but I didn't give up. Now, all jokes aside, you should be very proud. This is an impressive chapter in your lives.
Very good. Who did you say it was?
Charlie Day.
Charlie.
Day. He starts in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and also
With the little guy,
yeah,
Danny DeVito. Yeah. Thank you. I think Danny DeVito is brilliant. Do you guys watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Sometimes.
That show's been on for like 9 years. I had no idea. I've never seen an episode. Should I watch it? It's explicit?
Sometimes.
Well, it can't get any more explicit than this class, right? Since the Marines came marching in, it's been pretty explicit in here. Who's next? Come on. Everybody that hasn't gone, that's thinking about going, take a deep breath. You're going to be fine. This is a safe space. You're going to be fine.
I found this poem in my language. I'm from Thailand. I really would love to read this to y'all. ชีวิตมันช่างสั้นเกินกว่าจะมานั่งเสียใจเสียเวลากับเรื่องอดีตจงรักคนที่ดูแลคุณอย่างที่ควรจะเป็นจงลืมคนที่ปฏิบัติอย่างกับคุณอย่างไม่สมควรจงเชื่อว่าทุกสิ่งที่เกิดขึ้นนั้นมีเหตุผลจงจำในสิ่งที่ควรจำแล้วจงทำในสิ่งที่ควรทำ So this poem is about like life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. So love people who treat you right. Forget about the one who don't. and believe that everything happens for a reason.
Thank you. Have you noticed that the content from around the world has had some common denominators, that the struggles that people have in all parts of the world are similar, and the quest for peace and kindness is also in all parts of the world? I hope you walk away from this exercise realizing that. I hope so. Next. Yes, ma'am. Nicholas, you go after that.
This is a speech given by RM at the UNICEF. So it's, maybe I made a mistake yesterday, but yesterday me is still me. I am who I am today with all my faults. Tomorrow I might be a tiny bit wiser, and that's me too. These faults and mistakes are what I am, making up the brightest stars in the constellation of my life. I have come to love myself for who I was, who I am, and who I hope to become.
Very good. Nicely done. Nicholas. You guys are getting like 80 graduation speeches in one setting.
Okay, so before I start, I'm going to do it in a different language. And I'm not going to feel threatened by anything, but I just want to go ahead and see, what do you guys think I am, nationality-wise? Polish, German?
Irish.
Okay.
American.
Anything else? I mean, I've heard all sorts of things.
Argentinian.
Close. No, not really, sorry. But okay, well, I'll do my presentation, and then you guys can guess afterwards.
Wait, so nobody was right so far?
No.
Okay.
But I've gotten German and Polish several times, so that was pretty accurate. You got it.
Very good.
I'm a little rusty, so just bear with me.
Yeah.
Нет, не моя теперь. Нет, не моя ты. Белое платье, брызги вина. Красивое счастье по имени Настя. Чужая невеста, скоро жена. Красивое счастье по имени Настя. Чужая невеста, скоро жена. And that's just, it was a song I used to hear all the time back in the day, like 10 years ago with my family in Kyrgyzstan, and just old memories. It's not really anything about peace or the world,
Mhm.
like a lot of your presentations have been. It's just a good memory.
It's good. And tell us the city where you mentioned, or your country? I know you said Russia, but
I am Russian, but that song I heard in Kyrgyzstan.
okay. One of the stands.
Yeah, one of the stands.
Yeah, one of the stands. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, there's several stands over there. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, lots of stands.
It's one of the smaller stands.
One of the smaller stands. Not Stan Lee, Stan. Who's next? Okay. Christine, you'll go next. Okay.
My name is Destiny. This poem is called I'm Latino Proud. It goes like this. I was born into this race. I'm Latino proud, and it shows on my face. When it comes to my family, we defend our own kind. Something in others you'll never find. We work out in the hot sun to earn our daily bread, but that's alright, we keep our family fed. We are known for our tortillas, our beans, and our rice, a few jalapenos for a touch of spice. Sometimes we are bad and get sent to jail. It's all sad when we can't make bail. It's guys like that who give our race a bad name. I'm still Latino proud, and I say it with no shame. Chicano here, Hispanic there. What's the difference when the others don't care? We walk with our heads up each and every mile. I'm Latino proud, and for that I can smile.
Very good. Nice. And a great message. Thank you. It's well done. Okay, Christine. Romeo, you ready? Oh, you already went? But you're not ready. Okay. Okay.
So I just found a short quote or a poem, and it's just basically to remind myself that there's a light at the end of every tunnel. And it goes, it was only through enduring winter that I finally learned, no matter what cold comes my way, no matter how long and dark the days may grow, there is hope waiting for me around the corner. There is sunlight waiting for me to set it free from within. There is beauty in breakage, and there is love after loss.
Very good. Thank you. Good. Kayla, have you gone? Okay. Who wants to go next? Oh, I got lots of people now. Okay, we'll go 1, 2, 3.
All right, this is a poem that people probably heard. It's called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we aren't inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in all of us. And we let our own light, and as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Very good. Thank you. It was by Marianne Williamson, right? Did I hear that she's running for president? Did anybody see that? Somebody check it out. I'm almost sure that's right. Might not have been on Reddit, but I think it's right. When you're ready. Okay.
I'm Brittany, and I'm going to do part of the song because I'm not going to do the whole song. That's forever. 4 minutes at least. When my body won't hold me anymore and it finally lets me free, where will I go? Will the trade winds take me south through Georgia plains or tropical rain or the snow from the heavens? Will I join with the ocean blue or run into the Savior true and shake hands laughing and walk through the night straight to the light, holding the love I've known in my life and no hard feelings?
Very good. Thank you. What song was that?
No Hard Feelings by the Avett Brothers. I love them.
I should have known that, huh? How many of you know the Avett Brothers? Huh. Okay. No, Sammy knows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like eHarmony. You guys got it going on. That's good.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm going to shamelessly promote. I'm the Gourmet Night event manager for this year.
Congratulations. That's a big deal. And it's good to shamelessly promote from time to time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This year, as we all know, is the 50th year of our Hilton College, and as I did in-depth research, there was this quote that we have that I really enjoy, and it got really attached to me. Similar to a graduation speech, it's called The Keepers of the Lamp. Maybe some of you guys have heard it. It's part of our college, the alumni. But the quote practically goes, "The keeper of the inn is the keeper of the flame, that 1,000-year-old flame of hospitality, which the graduates of our Hilton School of Hotel and Restaurant Management must hold high in carrying to the hotels of the 21st century." By Conrad and Hilton.
Yeah. You know, you're going to have a guest pastry chef.
Yes.
Gracie. Gracie Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous.
Have desserts and wings.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. You guys have heard me talk about Gracie before, haven't you? Oh, one of my favorites. Just the epitome of resiliency. Remarkable. Who's next? Come on. For those of you that don't know, Gracie was injured in the South by Southwest accident about 4 years ago. She was thrown 40 feet in the air, suffered a stroke, concussion, in the hospital for months, in a coma, lost her sense of taste and smell, and she's a pastry chef. And now she's come back. She can walk, she can talk, she breathes, she gets in car accidents because she doesn't see very well. I'm like, Gracie, quit driving. She goes, I can't drive. Matter of fact, she sent me a note just last week that said, it's been 1 year since I've had an accident. I said, that's amazing. Think about that. Think about that. It used to be like a week at a time because she doesn't have her peripheral vision any longer. And anyway, she's the guest pastry chef for Gourmet Night. So if you go, and or how many of you are working at Gourmet Night? How many of you are working? Well, make sure you say hello to Gracie. Yeah, she's awesome. Go right ahead.
All right, my name's Andrea. I'm doing an Italian song that originated in World War II with the Partigiani. It was a kind of like a guerrilla warfare group in Italy. And they were the rebels against Mussolini. And it goes, this is the end of it. It's a song. It goes, seppellire lassù in montagna, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire lassù in montagna, sotto l'ombra di un bel fior. Tutte le genti che passeranno, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Tutte le genti che passeranno mi diranno che bel fiore. E questo è il fiore del partigiano, oh bella ciao, 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 ciao. E questo è il fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà. And to translate it, it goes, bury me up in the mountains under the shade of a nice flower, and all the people that will walk by will say, oh, hi, beautiful, and they will recognize that the flower is the symbol of liberty.
Very nice. Thank you. I don't know about you guys, but I love the fact we're hearing it in different languages. I just think it really adds a dimension to it that we haven't had. And speaking of rebellion against Mussolini, I'm reading a fascinating book about a young French woman named Fourcade who ran the resistance, the French resistance against the Nazis. Fascinating story. This 30-year-old woman, how she came to run the resistance. If you're interested in an interesting book, I'm only about a third of the way through it, but so far it really has held my attention. Anyway, a lot of those resistance organizations existed, thankfully. I think it's the story of her. The last name is Fourcade. But if you really want to find it, just go to just Google Fourcade French Resistance. Story of Fourcade French Resistance, and it'll come up. If you have any trouble, let me know. I'll take a picture and send it to you. Who wants to go next? Come on, Jailu. And who's next? All right. And then Brianna? Okay, so we'll go one and then two.
Hi, I'm Jalu, and I'm gonna to share an ending song of Chinese movie. So that should be Mandarin, but I will also offer the translation later. And I will speak with Mandarin first. And the name is The Path to Ordinary. 我曾经跨过山和大海，也穿过人山人海。我曾经拥有这一切，我曾经失落、失望、失掉所有方向，直到看见平凡才是唯一的答案。我曾经毁了我的一切，只想永远的离开。我曾经坠入无边黑暗，想挣扎无法自拔，绝望着也渴望着，也哭也笑，平凡着。我曾经跨过山和大海，也穿过人山人海，从来没得到答案。我不过像你像他，像那野草野花，冥冥中这是我唯一要走的路啊。And I will further translation. I used to conquer mountains and skies, and push past all walks of life. I used to own all that you see, next it vanished in the breeze. I used to lose hope, lose heart, lose sight of what life means. Now I see the answer is within the ordinary. I used to burn all that I had, pack my bag, never to look back. I used to fall to black despair, battle blinding just to wake up. I once was like you, like him, like a white flower in the spring, despairing, aspiring, cry, love, and living. I used to hike through mountains and skies, cross paths with all walks of life. I used to ask all across the world, never got any reply. I I was just like you, lacking like a white flower in spring. When night falls, I keep writing the path I should take. Thank you.
Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Somebody, yes? You're all set.
My name is Jonathan Wu. So I'm going to read a small passage from Momofuku, which is David Chang's cookbook. David Chang also has a show on Netflix called Ugly Delicious, and he's just a really well-known chef. And this passage just really kind of made me think, because I kind of went through the same slump he did when he was working in kitchens. So I'll go ahead and start. A single bad oyster taught me a lot about what it means to cook with integrity. That's why it's so important to do things the right way. Well, a single bad oyster in Marco Canora. Back when I was working for Marco at Kraft, a customer complained that the kitchen had sent out a bad oyster. Oysters were coming off my station that night, which meant the bad oyster was my fault. Marco destroyed me. He told me that I had ruined someone's dinner, which means that I'd ruined all the effort the rest of the kitchen had put into the meal, that he couldn't trust me. He had been writing me for weeks about serving only oysters that were pristine and unblemished. I fucked up bad enough that he heard about it from a customer, and he let me have it. I couldn't sleep that night. I didn't want to go into work the next day. I wanted to blame Marco for being an asshole, anything to avoid accepting that I sucked as bad as he told me I did, and everyone within earshot. But as I was sitting in my apartment the next morning, stomach in knots, I understood. I did suck. I wasn't cooking with integrity. In essence, I didn't care enough. Obviously, I had tried to send food out the right way and try to make sure the oysters were perfect, but I didn't really care about the outcomes in terms of life and death. That was the difference. The Grand Canyon that separated aspirant posers like me from guys like Marco. That was why he and any great cook or chef goes totally nuclear when food gets fucked up. They just care too much. I manned up and went back to Kraft the next morning, and I tried to care about every single little thing. Not to waste a step, a scrap, or an unnecessary paper towel. Not to cook on autopilot, to respect what I was cutting or cooking or plating. Maybe I haven't always lived up to that, but I've never served another bad oyster.
Yeah, that was really good. Why is it, my culinary folks, that chefs are often so ill-tempered? Why is it? I mean, I've gone up to the culinary and I've taught chefs about teaching. I've listened to the stories. Why is it? Help me, enlighten us. Chill. Okay.
I think he's right. I mean, chefs, it's not about their reputation, but they just care about every little detail. Every chef I've met will remember everything down to little detail without even just thinking about it. It's just how they're wired. So if something comes out that they didn't want, or if you change something or you mess something up or it came out on the plate, they just immediately would go, that's not what I said. And I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing because consistency always matters, but a bad thing is that there's no room for you to fail, so you can improve.
It's a good point. Shiv, and then we'll get to Lizzie.
I agree with that. Having worked for some pretty good chefs, and working at the higher agency now, within the kitchen, it's a lot about consistency, I think for me, but also if you mess something up, it's not what you say it is anymore. It's not what the menu says it is, and the menu has that chef's name on it. And then it's just it's a prideful thing. So like when writing a paper, right? If you write a crappy paper that gets you a B, that's your work, and somebody says, hey, you're either stupid, dumb, or you just don't care. And you don't want to not care. You have to care. And so you have to put out good food, good work, et cetera, and then so the chef sets the standards, and everybody else in that kitchen upholds those standards, and if you don't, the chef loses.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And then, yeah, I think it's I think this story kind of, his story says it all. I think that's right on the head.
It's interesting, the two of you sit together and you had the two sauciest presentations. I need to think about that. Lizzie, you have a thought, and then we'll get to Nicholas.
I think one of the main things about
Can you speak up just a little bit?
I said I think one of the main things that it is chefs take it very personally.
They do.
And that's just the way that
Yeah.
they're wired.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they do set the standard. And if someone falls below the standard,
Yeah.
the only person that it actually falls on is the chef itself.
Yeah.
And I work in an open kitchen, so we get that immediate gratification. It could also be really negative. If someone doesn't like something, we'll know immediately
Yeah.
something is not done right.
Right.
And customers can see it. Everything is all out in the open. So if the tiniest of mistakes can throw off the entire thing.
Sure. Yeah, so they do. Nicholas?
I'd say it's definitely a stereotype, kind of like Gordon Ramsay. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Famous school, famous
Yeah.
chef.
Yeah.
He gets angry all the time, but it can be compared to like an artist with his work of art. An artist will always believe their work of art is beautiful, no matter how ugly it looks, because it's their own interpretation.
Uh-huh.
So it's the same with a chef. If someone doesn't like the chef's food, and they prepared it, and they cared for it, and they took their time to make it, they're not going to like the result of this making.
Yeah, interesting. I'm going to push back just a little bit on the artist thing. I find that artists, I think they will find beauty in their work sometimes, but I find artists to be very insecure about their work. And they need the external validation very frequently. Not all, certainly, and it's certainly a stereotype, but yeah. Wait, somebody, okay, Shiv, and then we'll get back to it.
The other thing is, like, everybody knows, like, the chef's name is on the menu.
Yeah,
So nobody's gonna blame the wine cooks or the prep cook or the saucier
yeah,
or whoever. They're gonna say, oh, Jonathan, whose restaurant, whatever,
yeah.
his food is crap because whatever, they sent out raw oysters or
Ye-
raw oysters or however it's not supposed to be, et cetera. So they're gonna say his menu is crap.
That's right.
He doesn't know how.
I think you're exactly right about it. It's one of the reasons we try to let people know that we get the lowest score achieved by any member on our team. Right? Some of you have heard this exercise, but if I brought you into class and I said, okay, we're going to work this entire semester in teams, are you okay with that? I'm going to put you in teams of 4. You're going to do your homework as a team, you're going to do a presentation as a team, you'll do the midterm as a team. Everybody gets to work together to come up with the best answers on the midterm. And there is going to be a final exam, and the final exam is going to count 80% of your grade. And every member on your team has to take the exam all by themselves. And the last piece of the puzzle is this. Every member on your team gets the lowest grade scored by any other member on your team. So if Bree gets a 100, Brianna gets a 90, Maya gets an 80, Jackie, don't take this personally, but Jackie rolls in with a 45, which she would never do. But if she does, what does everybody on this team get? 45. How many of you want to be on that team? See, nobody wants to be on that team, but that's the score you get every single day. At a hotel, at a restaurant, in the Marines. That's you have to realize you get the lowest score achieved, and I think that's a lot of what the chef is feeling, right? It's hard. We're not doing this class that way, just so you know. But that's funny. I start out the leadership class with that, and some students literally have a heart attack. They're like, really? I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh. But that's the team you're on. It really is. Brianna, are you ready? Okay. Then you want to go, Travis? Okay.
Since Michelle brought up gourmet and if y'all have not signed up to volunteer, please do. That would really help me.
Are you the volunteer coordinator?
I am.
Oh, well, there you go.
HR manager, so if you have
Yeah.
any questions, please. And like over half the teams in this class, so you can ask like any
Oh.
any of them.
Tell me again, how many of you are participating in Gourmet Night? All of you are? Most of you, a lot of you are. Hey, before you get started, if you haven't been to Momofuku, you need to go. It's not you, but I mean the class. No, I know you. No, I'm just saying, how many of you have been? Have you been to any of his restaurants? They are spectacular. I've only had the privilege of going to his milk bar, which just blew me away. And I would encourage you to go. It's really. How many of you watch the chefs on Netflix? What's it called?
Chef's Table.
Chef's Table on Netflix. I found some fascinating chefs. I went and saw a guy down. Is it Francis Mallmann, down in Argentina, that does the Tierra Fuego? Oh my gosh! If you're looking for an experience, go down to Mendoza, do the wine. You got to travel. Go down to Mendoza, travel, and taste the best wine, and go eat at his restaurant. It is spectacular. Brianna, I'm stealing your thunder. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, you go right ahead.
Okay, so I chose Bob Ross. I want to get you to try and be creative, and just to take the time and sit down and have nothing in mind, and you just start having a good feeling. Be happy and in love with your life and your world, and sit down and begin playing. If you feel good about yourself and the world, it'll show in your painting, and all these little things will happen. The secret to doing anything is believing that you can do it. Anything that you believe you can do strong enough, you can do anything, as long as you believe. We do not make mistakes, just happy little accidents.
Happy little accidents? I like that a lot. Okay, we're going to do something here. And I just want to go back and let's remember a few things. Say the words in a row. T-I-N, T-E-N, T-A-N. 10, 10, 10. Right? You guys haven't been using your corks. Now say these words. G-I-T and G-E-T. Yeah, I'm not even sure G-I-T is a word. But you guys say it a lot. Get. Everybody say it out loud. Get. You have to open your mouth. Get. Like, get out of here. Get. Say the word for, F-O-R. For. Say the word F-I-R. Fur. What is F-I-R? It's a tree. It doesn't mean this is for you. This is for you. Right? You have to enunciate. This is a communications class. I'm in the wrong state. I tell you, I've been going through this my entire life. This is my mission. I'm going to take it personally if you don't. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. We're going to get it. What do you got?
Get is actually a British insult.
It's a British insult? Alice, you validate that? It's slang for idiot? Well, there you go. Well, there you go. All right, I want you to be mindful of these things. Travis wouldn't get up until he was afraid. Yeah. Okay. And who's it from by?
Walt Whitman.
Walt Whitman. Okay.
Why reclining, interrogating? Why myself and all drowsing? What deepening night or deepening twilight? Scum floating atop of the waters. Who are they as bats and night dogs, askint the capital? What a filthy presidentiad! O South, you torrid suns. O North, your Arctic freezings. Are those really congressmen? Are those the great judges? Is that the president? Then I will sleep a while yet, for I see that these states sleep for reasons. With gathering murk, with muttering thunder and lambent shoots, we all duly awake. South, north, east, west, inland and seaboard, we will surely awake.
It's very good. And you said that very well. Thank you. Yeah.
So before I start, does anyone know the game Persona 5?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I'm Game Trash, and I picked this mainly because I thought this speech was cool. And the only thing you really need to know if you don't know what Persona is, it's the inner power within you, and a certain event has to happen before you can get it. So yeah. What's the matter? Are you simply going to watch? Are you forsaking him to save yourself? Death awaits you if you do nothing. Was your previous decision a mistake then? No need for your mere words. Show me your true feelings. Very well. I have heeded your resolve. Vow to me. I am thou. Thou art I. Thou who art willing to perform all sacrilegious acts for thine own justice. Call upon my name and release thy rage. Show the strength of thy will to ascertain all on thy own, though thou be chained to hell itself. I am the pillager of twilight, Arsene. I am the rebel soul that resides within you. If you so desire, I shall consider granting you the power to break through this crisis. Very well. Swing your blade.
See how she got more powerful as she went along? Did it make an impact? Yeah. It did, didn't it? That was great. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, mine's kind of sad. Actually very sad. But anyways. We played, we laughed, we were loved. We were ripped from the arms of our parents and thrown into the fire. We were nothing more than children. We had a future. We were going to be lawyers, rabbis, wives, teachers, mothers. We had dreams, then we had no hope. We were taken away in the dead of the night like cattles in cars. No air to breathe, smothering, crying, starving, dying. Separated from the world to be no more. From the ashes, hear our plea. This atrocity to mankind cannot happen again. Remember us, for we were the children whose dreams and lives were stolen away. It's a Holocaust poem.
Very powerful. We need your name because I don't see it on the text. Darren? DeAndre, did you have your hand up?
I was trying to get you to get Abel's attention because he was raising his hand.
Oh, Spencer.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Who's next? Maddie? Okay. And then you go after me. Okay. Yeah. You guys are moving right along today. This is good. We're going to stop about 5 minutes early because you're not leaving. We got to have a conversation.
So my name is Jonathan Guzman. My passionate speech is in regards to a poem, or a speech is more in regards to a book that I read. So a lot of CEOs that are out here read about 20 to 30 books a year on average, and a lot of them have to do with leadership skill books, right? So this specific book that I have personally finished actually recently is the reason why I'm so passionate about it, because it opened my eyes to a lot of different things in regards to a team. As we were talking about the kitchen and that person at the very top being so prideful about the work, yes, we are as strong as our weakest link, but before we point the finger, we must look at ourselves first, right? We must look at ourselves. If a message wasn't understood, did we present it clear enough? Simple, concise. So this book is actually by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. It's called Extreme Ownership. It is mainly a 12-principle book broken out into 3 different pieces per chapter. The first part is in regards to their Navy SEAL experience on the field. The second part is the actual principle, and the third part is how is it relatable to a business environment. So this book, I actually use all these principles on a day-to-day basis during my management career at Papacitos. And it so far has been very impactful. And the biggest concept is before you look at someone else, look at yourself. So if you have been a leader, currently are a leader, or will be a leader, I recommend every single one of you guys to read this book.
Very good. Thank you. Yeah, very good. Extreme ownership.
Extreme ownership.
I love the motto. Before you look at others, look at yourself, right? Yeah, I'm always amazed when an employee makes a mistake, they only focus on the employee. But you have to ask yourself, did we hire the right person for the right job? Did we train them to do the job appropriately? Have we motivated them and held them accountable to the task, right? Those questions have to be asked. If any of those are not true, it's really not the employee's fault, right? And I love it's not a mistake, a happy little accident, right? And if you can shift your perspective that it's from a mistake or a bad thing to a healthy learning experience. Now, I'm not saying you tolerate the same mistake over and over again. That's different. But that's how you learn. We all learn from making mistakes. Yeah? When you see a very successful person, ask them, what mistakes have you made? And if they say, I haven't made any, you're talking to the wrong person because they're not being truthful. All successful people have had challenges and mistakes. Yeah. Yeah. Don't ask me what mine are. We don't have enough time for all of my mistakes to be talked about. Oh, we had somebody next. Yes, come on. It's just gotten cold again. It was toasty for a little while.
Hi, I'm Madeline Tyler. So today I'm going to do an excerpt from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. If you're not really familiar with him, he was known as the philosopher, which is a really weird nickname. But he's one of the last good 5 emperors of the ancient Roman Empire during their time of peace. Just a little preface, this is kind of about not being fulfilled in life. At break of day, when you are reluctant to get up, have this thought ready to mind. I am getting up for a man's work. Do I still then resent it? If I'm going out to do what I was born for, the purpose for which I was brought into the world, or was I created to wrap myself in blankets and keep warm? But this is more pleasant. Were you then born for pleasure, all for feeling, not for action? Can you not see plants, birds, ants, spiders, bees, all doing their work, each helping in their own way to order the world? And then you do not want to do the work of a human being. You do not want to hurry to the demands of your own nature. But one needs to rest too. One does indeed, I agree. But nature has set limits to this too. Just as it has to eating and drinking, yet you go beyond these limits. Beyond what you need. Not in your actions though. Not any longer. Here, you stay below your capability. The point is that you do not love yourself. Otherwise, you would love both your nature and her purpose for you. Other men love their own pursuit and absorb themselves in its performance to the exclusion of bath and food. But you have less regard for your own nature than the smith has for his metalwork, the dancer for his dancing, the money grubber for his money, the exhibitionist for his little moment of fame. Yet these people, when impassioned, give up food and sleep for the promotion of its pursuits. And you think social action less important, less worthy of effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just talked about how when we hear the different languages and we hear the poems and the content from different countries, how there's a common denominator, have you also realized that if you look historically, there's also a common denominator, right? As the Walt Whitman piece shared with us, as that piece just shared with us thousands of years ago, the same types of challenges or people were trying to address. It's fascinating. It's hard to believe that we rarely learn our lessons. But it'd be nice if we did from time to time. Yeah. I had somebody, I think her hand was up. Yes, I'm sorry. And then we'll go here, and then we'll go Kwon.
So my excerpt's from this show called 6 Feet Under, which I discovered my sophomore year of high school. And around that time, I just kind of had some like existential questions that were weighing on me. Stuff like the meaning of life and, you know, random stuff. So when I discovered this show, it really meant a lot to me. Basically the premise is a family who owns a funeral home, and then their father dies, and they kind of have to deal with like the unresolved issues after he's gone. And yeah, it deals with like meaning of life, death, all that jazz. This excerpt just kind of shows you the gist of it. It kind of mixes all those like important issues with like comedy. So that's basically my personality, and yeah. Nate, stop listening to the static. Oh wait, I should have said this up more. Basically, this is the oldest brother talking to the youngest sister as she's trying to make a decision whether to stay at their house in Southern California or move away. Nate, stop listening to the static. Claire, what the fuck does that mean? Nate, nothing. I just mean that everything in this world is like this transmission, making its way across the dark. But everything, death, life, everything, it's all completely suffused with static, you know? But if you listen to static too much, it fucks you up. Are you high? I am actually, yeah, quite high.
That was good. All right. Who wanted to go next? Yeah. And then we'll go to Kwon. After, yeah. So we got two ahead of you. Okay.
I'm going to be reading a quote from one of my favorite books, Life of Pi. Is the one that's been made to a movie. Mm-hmm. Okay. In my university days, I visited Montreal once with some friends. It fell to me to order pizzas one night. I couldn't bear to have yet another French speaker murdering at my knee. So when the man on the phone asked, "Can I have your name?" I said, "I am who I am." Half an hour later, 2 pizzas arrived for Ian Julian. It is true that those we meet can change us, sometimes so profoundly that we are not the same afterwards, even onto our names.
Okay. Stay there for a second. You have a beautiful, how many of you, a smoky, I call it a smoky voice. Can you hear it? Stay the first sentence again just so they can hear it.
In my university days, I visited Montreal once with some friends.
Did you hear that? It's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Is your hand up when you go like this? Okay. I just want to make sure. You've got a couple of people ahead of you. Okay.
Good morning, guys. So today I want to share with you about like one of the movies, very classic, Rocky. Have you guys ever watched the movie? So I try to share with you the lesson that Rocky tried to teach his son. That he said, nobody gonna hit as hard as life, but it's ain't about how hard can you hit. It's about how hard can you get hit and keep moving forward. So it's just this one is just a reminder of us is that troubles, problems is just a part of the life. Like when we die, it's only stop when we die. So instead of like asking why me, just another question we can say that it's like try me and then perseverance and get through that. So the decision is yours to make. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah. That was a very good analysis. I've always kind of heard it, life isn't about what happens in your life. Life is how you handle what happens in your life. And I find that to be pretty powerful. Let's see. Cool. And I think it would be, yeah.
I have a speech or a quote, so do you want to, which one do you want?
You decide.
Okay.
We're good.
So I'm going to do a speech. It was during World War II. Charles de Gaulle, he was the leader of the Free French Army. And when the Nazi occupied, he went to Algeria and broadcasted his speech. It's a very famous speech to bring up the people, and it's actually what created the French resistance. So, it's going to be in French. À tous les Français, des gouvernants de rencontre ont pu capituler cédant à la panique, oubliant l'honneur, livrant le pays à la servitude. Cependant, rien n'est perdu. Rien n'est perdu parce que cette guerre est une guerre mondiale. Dans l'univers libre, des forces immenses n'ont pas encore donné. Un jour, ces forces écraseront l'ennemi. Il faut que la France, ce jour-là, soit présente à la victoire. Alors elle retrouvera sa liberté et sa victoire. Tel est mon but, mon seul but. Voilà pourquoi je convie tous les Français, où qu'ils se trouvent, à s'unir à moi dans l'action, dans le sacrifice et dans l'espérance. Notre parti est en péril de mort. Luttons tous pour la sauver et vive la France. So it's basically, I'm going to give you the word by word. It's basically calling to French to get up, to fight for your dignity, for your sovereignty, for your country. I am asking you all together with me to get up and fight this war. And it's actually what created the French resistance. So basically it shows you how speech and communication is so strong that one person can get all the country to get up and fight and actually liberate their country.
Yeah.
From
And they did.
Yes. And he later on became president. That's actually one of the best presidents.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
many.
that was it. Thank you.
You've got 1, 2 ahead of you.
I'm going to say a poem in Hawaiian, so bear with me. It's called The Peace of I. So peace in Hawaiian means mauahia, so that's a word you're going to hear me say a lot. So, ooh, I'm nervous.
Take a deep breath. You're going to do great.
Okay. And then I'll translate it in English after. So it starts with Oka mauahia no ma'oa ku'u mauahia a pauloa ka mauahia oka ai o vau no ka mauahia no na va a pau no ke ia va a mau loa aku ha'avi aku vau I ku'u mauahia ia oa vaho aku vau I ku'u mauahia mea oa a ole ka mauahia o ka au aka ka'u mauahia vale no ka mauahia o ka ai. So it means in English, peace be with you, all my peace, the peace that is I, the peace that is I am, the peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you, my peace I leave with you, not the world's peace, but only my peace, the peace of I.
It's very nice. Thank you. Did you grow up in the island?
Yeah. I graduated, I grew up there for 18 years, and then after high school, I went to play volleyball in Chicago, and then it transferred here.
That's quite a difference.
Yeah. Well, I travel a lot, so I like the snow and like
Ooh.
the city.
Okay, good for you. Which island were you?
Oahu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North Shore, East?
On the east side.
On the east side. Great. It's great. Thank you. Very nice. So Are you okay with howlies, or?
Oh, my dad.
Oh, okay, well, there you go. It's an intense situation in Hawaii, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. Stereotypes. There was somebody else. It was Ron Mount. Are you ready? I think it's your turn. What does your T-shirt say? Living of China. Okay.
Li Ning is brand, similar to Nike.
Okay.
So I changed my topic this morning when I was driving to school. I was thinking maybe instead of doing some emotional poem to make you cry, probably I just talk something about my country. As we know, China has the largest population in the world. 1 in 5 people in the world is Chinese, right? Probably maybe that's the reason because there's too many weird people and strange things, you know. So I organized and write down 4 strange things that probably you will only see in China, and I don't like them all. Okay, you ready? Number 4, wearing pajamas in public. Even if you are a growing up man, it's okay for you to go outside wearing pajamas with some little cute kittens. Number 3, the Chinese can take nap everywhere. They can have a nap in any place, on the trees, on the furniture they sell, or on a motorcycle. Of course, it's considered normal. Number 2, women rent boyfriends. The clock is ticking, you know, where you ever get married. You know, in China, there's one way you can get rid of this question is rent a boyfriend. They can take a few pictures with you and maybe go to a family dinner and pretending to be in love with you. The first one is the top one, traffic jam. Maybe you think Houston's traffic is bad, but compared to China, it's a piece of cake, you know? You know, have you ever dreamed of being paid when you sit in the traffic? There's one, I think there's a fantastic job opportunity for you in China. If you are late for work because of the traffic jam, you can call a special service that will send 2 people. One of them will take care of your car. The other one will drive you wherever you need to be on a motorbike. The entire rescue service will cost maybe about $60. Tell us in the comment section if you think it is worth the money. So, do you know any weird things about China that I missed?
Maddie?
Isn't it like the 50-lane highway going into 4 lanes? Or like 10 lanes?
You know, my city is 4 lanes.
4.
Oh, my city has 10 lanes.
10 lanes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's
total is 10 lane and 5 chain.
yeah. My city actually total is 8.
I want to add something about the boyfriend, the number 2.
Okay.
So, yeah, we do have the contract boyfriend things. The reason why we have these things because every time we're in some holiday or festival, when families get around and they always ask the girl about, oh, where's your boyfriend and when do you get married and some kind of things. So it's got a lot of pressure on girls and female. That's why we have such things.
These boys. Karina?
Do the boyfriends, like, they want to do it because I've heard that, you know, there's more women than men in China. And, you know, that's affecting. So I actually heard the other thing. Boyfriends rent girlfriends for that. Like, they're like, because there's not enough women for all the guys. So, I mean, is that true? Like, do they both do it, or?
Yeah, they both.
Thank you, Run Mount. That was great. Jackie's going to go, and then we'll call it a day, so you're off the hook for today. But that doesn't mean you're off the hook forever. How many still need to go? Raise your hand. Sam? Everybody else is gone? Oh, well, then, Sam, you're going next. Here we go, Jackie.
So this is a song by Lecrae. It's called Cry For You. He's a Christian rap artist, a person that I like to listen to personally. It says, take it away. I beg you, take it all away. The pain that it causes makes me wish I could fade away. If you knew it, if they knew what you knew, they probably shun me. I'm surprised you know it all and you love me. I know it'll break your heart. Body of death, give me rest if my heart stops. Then it don't hurt no more. Can't get worse no more. Can't pursue all these desires and curse no more. No more lies about my worth no more. I understand the thoughts of suicide that do reside, but when I stop and think about my family, I feel new inside. I promise I would die 1,000 deaths before I cause them any pain. But somehow I end up killing everything. I cry for you. If you feel it dark, twisted heart, wrenching, hate to see your own reflection. Praying for intervention, feeling guilt and feeling shame. I just call on Jesus' name. Praying daily, can you take away this pain? Take the thorn away. Still remains I feel the same I know that I'm healed, but still feeling the same. Satan would love to see me give up and throw in my hand. He say I'm guilty, but you say I'm clean. The thorn in my flesh is the only thing I have left, and it's so hard to confess when everyone thinks you're perfect. But I cry for you if you feel it too. And I'll cry for you if you show how to lose the elephant in the room.
It's good. Powerful. Good. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. That's good. Sam, take us home.
This is a speech that Robin Williams' character gives in the movie Dead Poet Society.
Mm-hmm.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. To quote from Whitman, "O me, O life, of the questions of these reoccurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish. What good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists, an identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?"
It's very good. Thank you. If you haven't watched the Dead Poet Society, you need to watch it. It's fabulous. Lily? Well, come on. These have been great.
This is a poem by Karina Borowicz called September Tomatoes. The whiskey stink of rot has settled in the garden, and a burst of fruit flies rises. When I touch the dying tomato plants, still the claws of tiny yellow blossoms flail in the air as I pull the vines by the roots and toss them in the compost. It feels cruel. Something in me isn't ready to let go of summer so easily, to destroy what I've carefully cultivated all these months. Those pale flowers might still have time to fruit. My great-grandmother sang with the girls of her village as they pulled the flax, songs so old and tied to the season that the very sound seemed to turn the weather.
Very good. Thank you. Do we really get everybody now? Okay. Do you want to go now? Okay, come on. Ryan's not here. We got a special day for Ryan on Thursday, as usual.
Hi, I'm Wenji. Yeah, and I just bring some lyrics from one of my best songs, "Wake Me Up." Filling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart, I cannot tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand, and they say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me. And I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only have 2 hands. I hope I get a chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. I wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life is a game made for everyone, and love is the prize.
Very nice. Good. All right, so we're not going to have time to talk about what I want to talk. Anybody else? Okay. Thursday's class, we've got Thursday scheduled to do more of these, but we're done, so we're good. So we're going to take Thursday to kind of talk about what we're going to do for the rest of the semester to reinforce. I've got a couple of particular topics I want to talk about. The internal dialogue that we have with ourselves, and we've got interviewing that we want to talk about. But then I also want to talk about more about a final type presentation to take what we've learned so far. Aren't you excited about that? And to do one more. So I want to visit with you about what that should look like and how we're going to accomplish it since we have so many people. I've got an idea. I just want to run it past you as we kind of build this class. Let's end the day like this. You know, with these talks, fabulous messages. I commend you all for looking and finding something that was important to you and speaking about it, and your willingness and the courage to share it with the class. That's not an easy thing to do, particularly at this age. I know that. So I commend all of you for doing that. Look, I know it's getting toward the end of the semester. I know many of you are taking lots of classes. I know your papers are getting to be a challenge for you and some of your requirements in your classes. And I know we feel like stress can build up and we can feel overwhelmed. The first thing I want you to remember is that if you do feel overwhelmed, reach out and get some help. That's the most important thing I can tell you. The second thing I want to share with you is the better organized you are, the better you plan, the more you prioritize and do the most important things first, the less stress you will feel. So you have control over that. So focus on that. Set some time aside every day to plan and make sure you're doing the important things you need to be doing. Once you do those, you'll have plenty of time to do the unimportant things. The Instagram. Okay? So just remember that. Last but not least, try your best to lighten up a little bit and be peaceful. A lot going on in the world today, but it doesn't have to impact you and your life. Just be peaceful. And if you're peaceful and kind to people, you'll make your way through just fine. Okay? All right. I'll see you Thursday. Bye. Kathy. Yes, sir.